Hi, this is Brett with Aim Small, Miss Small TV, and today we've got the Tikka T1x. We're going to have some Center X, SK Pistol Match Special. There's going to be some wind involved, and of course ARA target and 5-round groups. But why this video? Is because we're continuing the series of trying to accurate the rifle through the action screws. That's to basically tame the harmonics or barrel whip so the rounds come out of the barrel, hopefully when the barrel's about the same height, so the barrel's not whipping up and down, you know, causing the bullet. It doesn't take much. So we're trying to get that harmonics to settle down enough to where those rounds will create even smaller groups than an already great rifle has. The original torque I had set on this was 40 inch-pounds. Right now the rifle's set at 2.6 Newton meters, or about 23 inch-pounds. Let's see how it did, but we'll start with the 5-round groups. I do want to make a couple notes before I get into that. It's been a long time since I shot the rifle, and you know, I've been shooting the CZ for basically the last year. And one of the things that I noticed about the Tikka is, for some reason, some of the magazines, the way that the rounds go in, as I'm racking the bolt, sometimes the round, because of how it's sitting in the magazine, doesn't quite line up and go in to the barrel. You know, I've probably shot in the last couple months, you know, several hundred rounds. I got rid of a magazine that maybe I thought was a problem magazine. I think the problem did decrease a little bit. But what are your thoughts? Have you guys had the same problem with the Tikka magazines? I think the round just fits a little too loose in there. And you can almost tell when you're loading it if it's not stacked in nice. But if you don't catch it, you're going to pay the price as you're shooting. Again, if you have issues with the magazines, put a comment. Let us know. Let us know if you found something to resolve it, and we'll see where it goes. All right, let's get to the 5-round groups. Fortunately, I wasn't paying attention when I wrote down the measurements, so they're upside down. But we'll start out with SK Pistol Match Special. First target 0.63, 0.56, last target 0.49. That gives us an average of 0.56. Or 56/100ths of an inch, or just under MOA. Let's take a look at the Center X. 0.45, or excuse me, 0.46, 0.26, 0.45. That gives us an average of 0.39. Telling you what, anytime you can get a group, you know, that's in the 1s and 2s, it's pretty exciting for sure. So those were bad groups, but I think this rifle can do better. And I'll probably do one more video, or I will do one more video. Let me restate that, which I'll hopefully release tomorrow. And we're going to drop back down the weight of the torque to 2.2 Newton meters, or I think that's right around 19-20 inch-pounds. Let's take a look at the first ARA target. 2250 is a score, but what you'll recognize is I missed a target number 25. That would have been the first target on the last row as I'm moving left to right. I have no idea why I missed that. But there is an important note on that. When you're shooting the ARA target and you're looking through a scope, and most of the time it's a high power scope, so your field of view is very small. There's been shooters that missed entire rows. In fact, I think I'm one of those. But it's not uncommon. And the fact that I missed a target on this, I mean, literally, I just skipped right over it. I have no idea why. Obviously, I wasn't as focused as I should have been. So I do feel like I'll give myself 100 points for the one that I missed. That would have given me 2350, which actually is a good score. But let's take a look at the second target, which also happens to be a 2350. So that is showing some consistency. And nothing really to look at this target. I'll kind of let you look at it so you can see where my misses are. If you want, I'd recommend watching the video, because I'll show you, you'll be able to watch, of course, the video of the 5-round groups and the 2 ARA targets if you choose to move forward. As I mentioned, I've got one more video on the Tikka and the action screws, and that video will be my final video in this series and with the Tikka, and I feel like I've found a torque weight that I'm going to be happy with. I will say this, the Tikka and each of these, actually, you know what? Actually, just reminded myself of something. I was about ready to say something that may not be 100% true. So let's see. As I was shooting, okay, we're going to be looking at the first ARA target. I'll put it back on the screen. But if you look on the siders at the 3rd row, so that would be the sider on the left, you'll see there's three bullet holes, but there should be 4. I'm almost wondering if that one that's outside the target's 2 rounds in the same hole. I can't remember, honestly. But the very first shot I took on that sider was off the target. I mean, off the target. It was at about 7 o'clock. Literally didn't even hit the paper. Blows my mind that a round could go that far off, and then the next round after it kind of land again way outside the target at that 4 o'clock. You know, I bet there's a reason for it. It's hard to believe that 2 rounds in a row were manufactured terrible, but I don't know what that reason is. But my mind was just blown when I shot that, and I gotta be honest, that's not the first time I've seen that happen, but I think it is the first time with this particular ammo. And the rest of the row, you know, I had 150, but actually, I had 250s in that row. You know, I think I've mentioned it in past videos, my 3rd row is always the worst, and actually smack in the middle, which is where these 250s are always my toughest for some reason. I think it has to do with the barrel temperature, gases in the barrel. I mean, but it's weird because normally my last 2 rows are typically pretty good. That middle row, something about halfway through the target, and it's funny, in this case it's exactly half, I have challenges. Anyway, I love the ARA target. I love bench rest. Do me a favor, I'm kind of curious, how many of you guys who watch my videos actually shoot the ARA target? If you do, whether it's unlimited or factory, do me a favor, put in the comments just so I can kind of get an idea on how many of you guys actually shoot the ARA targets. With that said, God bless. Please like, subscribe, shoot that bell, and Godspeed if you go watch the videos. Thank you. Okay, we're at the range in an evening time. Well, it's 5:40 Pacific, and we're going to be shooting the Tikka T1x SK Pistol Match Special, and I currently have the action screw set at 2.6 Newton meters, I believe. I'll confirm that in the garage summary. First, 5-round group. I have to remember, I've been having a heck of a time with these Tikka magazines, and the round's not coming out right. Kind of have vague memories of that happening before. I'm wondering if it's a magazine or the user. I'm going to grab a new round. I feel like that one's been beat up. Gosh. Just does not want to go in. Okay, this shot I'm manually feeding. Whoa. Oh man, this is painful. Okay, second group. I'm going to change my point of aim. It's going to be on the diamond at 3 o'clock, the very tip there. Just to take notice, I think the pattern on this might be the same. High or low, high, low. I think the first target was the same way. Well, that was terrible. All right, let's go with the third target. All right, if I'm not mistaken, that's three rounds in one hole. But that was still not a good group. Okay, center X, first 5-round group. Okay, that's showing some more promise. Let's go for the second target. Since that first group showed promise, I mentally slowed down, kind of paid attention to the flags. Let's see what happens with this third group. Kind of looking for the flags to be somewhere around, like we're right around where they are now, 7 o'clock-ish. Huh. Well, that's not encouraging. All right, you got three rounds kind of landed where they're supposed to. We're going to be shooting the Tikka T1x, the Lapua Center X, ARA target. Let's do this. We're going to start with siders. All right, here we go. Here we go. The first target I'm always a little nervous on. It seems like I have a 50-50 chance on missing it. And when I say missing, not getting 100. All right, good start. That's not great. I am not changing my point of aim. Maybe I should have. That's that 50-50 chance I was talking about the other day. Should you make an adjustment in this case? You know, in this case, it was a windage In this case, it was a windage adjustment versus a vertical adjustment. Maybe I should have made a change. I am going to make a change this shot. Okay, that one, just so you know, the other shots I shot basically 6 o'clock underneath the dot. This one I shot about 7 o'clock touching the dot. And that was the same point of aim. Okay, row 2, starting with siders on the right. Oh, love that, right? This is why I shoot siders all the time. I know there's those that don't, but for cases like that, holy smokes, what do you do with that? No joy. Putting some more rounds in my magazine because I know I'm going to need more siders. Okay, here we go. It's funny, that shot I was kind of nervous about. I'm like, I don't remember the flags flying at the 12 o'clock position before. But, I mean, it's pretty calm. So I took the shot. Now that's what I hate. By the way, I'm aiming basically like a snowman on 12 o'clock on top of the dot. Look at that, last shot high, this shot low, same aim point. Okay, this one I brought it up a bit. This one I brought it up a bit. I don't know, maybe 1/8 of an inch above the dot. Okay, we're going on the third row. I'm reloading the magazine each time. Try to give my barrel a chance to kind of cool down a bit, not get too hot. If there's any gases in there, let them escape, which there is. And honestly, I'd prefer some wind, a consistent direction, opposed to kind of no wind. Wonder what time I got to be out of here at sunset. See what time that is. Looks like 6:51. I have 30 minutes. I would like to shoot maybe another target, but we'll see. Okay, third row, sighter on the left. Holy smokes. I think that shot won't even be on the camera. What? I mean, it's literally 2 inches to the 7 o'clock of the dot, and I aimed on the dot. This rifle's starting not to make me happy. You know, maybe this isn't the right ammo. Dang. All right, I'm Gonna let the flags do something a little different here. I know the wind's not blowing, but that's kind of where I want it to sit. Oh, get back over there. Put some more rounds in there. I spent some extra time on the rear rest, making sure it's hitting my shoulder at a good place. I'm going to push the rifle a little bit more to the back of my shoulder, I mean very little bit. And let's see if this gets improved. Those first two shots are terrible. But I've had that in a match and then the row ended up working, so who knows. One more sighter. All right, I'm going for it. Okay, by the way, I'm aiming at the dot because honestly, I didn't know what else to do. Everything felt good. Don't know why that did that. I do see the flag changed on me, but I don't think it was blowing much. I'll call him my flag mentor. He always avoids the white. I don't know why. He just seems to think his gun did weird things. So I kind of like sticking to around that 7. There we go. There we go. Huh. Well, I should have moved. Okay, that one, I changed my point of aim to about the 9 o'clock, roughly 1/8 of an inch off the circle. Okay, 4th row, sighter target on the right. Okay, I just did that same 9 o'clock, about an 1/8 of an inch off the target. I'm going to stick with that. All right, I kept that same hold about the whole rest of that target. Okay, last row, sighter on the left. Okay, just so you know, I brought that in to where my reticle is touching the dot. I did that because most of my shots weren't way over to the right, and that last one moved to the left, so I figured I should scoot it over a little bit. Alright, I'm going to get another target out there. I'd like one more shot at this, and I think I have enough time. Second ARA target, Lapua Center X, Tikka T1x, and hopefully some prayers behind this. See what we can do. Excuse me. Alright, I think I'm happy. Let's go with target number 1. Oh. What did I say last target? 50% of the time I feel like I missed the first one? Well, there you go. That was lame. I have no idea. Okay, that one I aimed 9 o'clock, just touching the dot. And the previous shot, I aimed right around 10 o'clock, right? Because my rounds in the sighter were landing around 5 o'clock. Seems to make sense, right? Didn't work out. Ran out of rounds. Thought I had my 10 round magazine. Thought I had the magazine, I loaded 10 rounds in. Let's try this again here. I'm going to slide over to my right. I'm going to slide over to the right sider and see where the rounds want to hit. I'm going to aim at the dot. I'm glad I did that. So the wind must be, the breeze I'll call it, or whatever the heck's going on, must be deceiving, because it must be pushing that bullet that far to the right, I guess. I'm gonna, well, as the flag's changing, I'm gonna change my aim a little bit and let's see what happens. Okay, so I think it's dawning on me what's going on here. Earlier on I was shooting, the wind was mostly blowing to the 9 o'clock, right? Well, if I don't have any wind, it's going to obviously go to the right, so I think I kind of missed that, but here we go. Okay, so that was shot, or my point of aim there was at 9 o'clock, kind of with the dot, my dot in my reticle between the 50 ring, or 100 ring maybe, I guess, and the dot, right smack in the middle at 9 o'clock. I'm just going to use holdover. I'm not going to change my scope. Although, maybe if I was in a match, I would change my scope, since it doesn't appear it's going to be windy to the left anymore. But I'm just going to hold off around that 9 o'clock area. Oh, maybe I'm not holding off enough. Okay, I went from the middle of the, the dot to the circle to probably 3/4 of the way to the circle. Okay, that was probably right in the middle between the dot and the circle. Okay, I got 10 more minutes. See what happens. Oh, what? Honestly, I have no idea why that went there. I mean, the pattern showed the previous shot was at 5 o'clock. I did not change my hold, and that was a mistake. But honestly, I didn't see any reason why I should. Is that far? I might have been mistaken. I think I did go more to the left, where I should have gone more to the 10 o'clock. Lessons learned. I actually thought this was going to be a decent card. I got 2 line lickers and 2 for sure 50s, and 2 more rows to go. Typically, hopefully I don't jinx myself, my last 2 rows I think are typically the better. I think most of the time my 3rd row is the challenge row. I think maybe by the 3rd row the guns got heated up and I'm not smart enough to notice that difference. But here we go, let's see what we got. Cider on the left, 4th row. Kind of shocked how far over to the right that is. But I aimed about the 10 o'clock, halfway between the dot and the circle. All right, I'm going to keep with that hold. That one I moved a little bit closer to the circle. Starting to think in this case it would have been a better idea to move the deterrents and re-zeroed. Okay, that one I moved slightly teeny bit down and more to the circle. Okay, last row. Looks like I got off with my ziggity zaggity, so I'm going to be starting on the left again and moving to the right. Okay, I took 2-siders. I want this row to be a good row. Let's see what happens. Okay, those last 3 rounds are kind of creeping up on me. So I'm going to move closer to the 9 or maybe even kind of 8-ish area. And still probably closer to the circle. Oh, I still think that's in there though, hopefully. Oh. Dang, I cannot believe that wants to be over there like that. Myself being in denial is maybe costing me points. I mean, that looks like it's a 50. Okay, that was around 9:30, almost touching the circle. Same aim point. Okay, that was, you know what? I gotta tell you, I might not have shot well, but I feel like it's an opportunity shooting this time of day to learn and overcome my mistakes. I hope that's what I'm learning. Now this is a Tikka T1x. Typically I'd be shooting the CZ457, which honestly I may be going back to here quite quickly.